This didn't start as blue. Bonus, we had to make a piece that was missing off this dash, a side quest. We had to rescue a little guy. You'll see. Stick around.
Whose idea was this?
There's a bunch of tools on top of that.
Here we go. Going down. Hopefully the slow way and not the fast way.
I'm starting to adopt a new philosophy. It doesn't need to come apart completely unless it needs to come apart completely. Genius, right? Anyway, traveler, the moral of the story is I'm going to take only enough off of this that I need to and figure out what I'm going to do about this right here, this decorative piece. All right, I moved inside. When I was moving it in here, I barely touched one of the frame pieces for the gauges over here, and it just broke. But it got me looking closer at some of these things in here in the frame where the gauge clusters will mount, and I started noticing some minor cracks and some things that we're going to address. Let's take the stuff that we were going to take off, and then we'll do the other things. There we go. If you've watched any of my videos in the past, then you know that one of my favorite rust converters is OSPHO by Skyco, which does sound like a kid's toy company. I've had this stuff for quite a while now, actually probably a couple years at this point. You can see sort of the consistency there. Oop, it also got me thinking, hey, maybe I can use this to do this. I don't know if it'll work. I guess we'll find out. But first, let's do this before this cures in the cup. But as you can imagine, UV resin is resin that cures with UV. So I'm going to work fairly quickly. I think it says something about 2 minutes or so. It's already starting to cure. That works really quickly. So let's go back over to the table because it's got me thinking about something. Literally just walked into my garage and found a tiny, tiny little bird. You can hang out while we work on stuff, though, if you want. Set you over here for now. Keep an eye on you. I was trying to think of how to deal with this. I like the DIY thing. I like to overcomplicate things a little bit. Air dry modeling clay. And you'll see where I'm going with this. We're gonna try and make one of these using this stuff. I'm going to simply take this bad boy and smoosh it down into the clay, nice and evenly. There. But I got a pretty good representation of this thing. So this is how typical mold making works, molding and casting. So we are doing the casting process, and this is not something that I actually figured we'd be doing today, but why not? Pour in one spot only. Don't just go around it and fill it up. Let it seep into all the crevices and all the details. Now, I think while we're waiting for that, we can try to return old Roscoe here to home. All right, side quest accomplished. Maybe he was really interested in what I was doing out front there and wanted to go see. Except, his eyes aren't even open yet. After they're gone, I will remove this bird's nest. I knew there was one here, I just didn't know where. I should have just looked up. Let's get to the actual meat and potatoes of today's episode. We're going to take this thing and we're going to make it not black. The car was originally two-tone, two-tone interior. It was light blue and off-white. Eggshelly kind of white. Oh, I don't have a cap. What the heck?
Good painting's all in the prep, and this stuff softens the material and cleans it just before painting.
Wow.
Oh yeah, don't inhale it.
Once we're done with this, we're gonna wipe it. We'll do this a couple times on the dash just to make sure we got it nice and prepped for the dye that we're gonna spray on here. Oh! Okay. Yep. Make sure that your stuff is very sturdy like it is here. This color came back as Etna Blue Y31, which is a Porsche code, which is pretty crazy considering that this is clearly not a Porsche. They put it on their little scope thingy and read all the color data, so we're gonna go with it.
Resist the urge to try and do any type of painting in one coat. The better idea is to prep, make sure it's clean, and then do multiple lighter coats so you get nice even coverage, you don't miss anything, and you don't risk runs or you don't risk flaking or any kind of crazy reactions, stuff like that. It'll come out better, promise you. Don't rush it.
While we're waiting for the paint to dry, let's take a look at this. Let's test fit this. It's pretty close. Let's see what it looks like. I'm using this dye. Little guy, you gotta get out of here. Now, the moment of truth. Would you look at that? For what it is, yeah, that'll work out. It's not pushed all the way up against it right now, but like that.
There's nothing really different going on here. We're just doing some final coats. We'll put some stuff back on, paint it all together, and call it good.
From black to blue, you can see the mismatch. So let's start here. Focusing mostly on just this. Then we'll work that out a bit. Clearly it's not perfect, but you know what? It's going to be good. I've got some fine-tuning of things to do for sure.
I've got a whole lot more to do on the Trans Am and not a whole lot of time to do it. The next thing that I'm going to be working on is the seats. If you like this kind of thing, it's free to like, it's free to subscribe, and I'm getting really close to 1,000, so please. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one.